Call to order a meeting for the Normal Town Council for Monday, June 19th, 2023. Please call the roll.
Mayor Coos?
Here.
Mrs. Lorenz? Ms. Harris?
Here.
Mr. Byers?
Here.
Ms. Smith?
Here.
Mr. Preston? Mr. McCarthy?
Here.
We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have no public commenters tonight. On this agenda would be the next item, and that's items that would be taken with one vote unless a council member would like to pull an item for discussion. Ms. Smith.
Item D as in dog and H as in Herbert.
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Items considered on the omnibus tonight are approval of the minutes of the special council meeting of June 5th, 2023, and approval of the minutes of the regular council meeting of June 5th, 2023, a report to receive and file town of normal expenditures for payment as of June 1st, 2023, a resolution waiving bids and authorizing the renewal of a subscription to Code Red software from OnSolve for 3 years in the amount of $39,000. Conditional resolution approving the 6th edition to Heather Ridge subdivision. A resolution authorizing the execution of an agreement for technical planning services with the McLean County Regional Planning Commission. A resolution authorizing the purchase and installation of sport lighting for the Anderson Park Tennis Courts by Musco Sports Lighting in LLC via the Sourcewell Joint Purchasing Contract. Resolution to accept bids and award a contract to Stark Excavating for the construction of the Maxwell Park Skunk Creek Crossing project in the amount of $108,139.98. A resolution waiving the formal bid process and accepting quotes, authorizing the purchase of a sanitary sewer digester for the Ironwood Pump Station from McIntyre Management Group for $53,128. A resolution to waive the formal bid process and accept a proposal from West Tech Engineering for ammonia removal pilot testing program at a total cost not to exceed $65,000. A resolution to waive the formal bid process and approve a contract extension with CDM Smith for ammonia removal pilot study at a total cost not to exceed $69,950. A resolution to waive the formal bid process and accept the 2023 third quarter chlorine quote from Alexander Chemical, and a resolution to amend the lease agreement for Illinois State University Art Gallery to extend the term to December 31st, 2032. Please call the roll.
Ms. Harris?
Aye.
Mr. Byers?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. McCarthy?
Aye.
Mayor Coos?
Aye. Those items are approved. Item D is a resolution to accept bids and award a contract to H.J. Epple and Company Incorporated for the 2023 motor fuel tax street resurfacing project, MFT section 23 a bunch of zeros -GM in the amount of $1,093,516.60.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Smith?
Yes, I pulled this from the omnibus agenda because this is the third and final major road contract that the town of Normal is pursuing for the construction year. And I had asked Ms. Reese if someone on staff could calculate the total number of road miles that we'll be paving, given all of these projects. And if you would mind sharing that and for the record, please.
Sure. This is our third contract, our third meeting in a row where we are issuing a contract for resurfacing work. The first contract was an East College Avenue contract. The second one was general street resurfacing. This contract is a resurfacing contract for using our motor fuel tax dollars. In total, with all three contracts, once authorized and approved by council's action tonight, we will be contracting out 4.5 miles of roads to be resurfaced this construction season.
Now, is that in lane miles or road miles?
I'm looking for Ryan. Centerline miles, so there you
Center line
have it.
miles. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
And I know we've been talking about road work for Savannah Green. Is that still to come before council this year, or is there too much planning involved? And that's what the process is right now.
That project is still under design. We will be bidding that out yet this year, so we'll come back to you later this year for a contract award.
Okay.
And we do it, and we have other projects happening as well, intersection work and things of the like. So there'll be more road projects coming down the pike, but in terms of resurfacing, this is our third and final contract for the year.
Okay, thank you.
Further on this item, please call the roll.
Mr. Byers?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. McCarthy?
Aye.
Ms. Harris? Aye. Mayor Kus?
Aye. That resolution is approved. Item H is a resolution approving a second lease agreement with Amtrak to perform repairs on the north passenger platform at Uptown Station and reimburse for expenses incurred. Ms. Smith?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Smith?
And I had pulled this because in the packet, there wasn't a discussion of the timeline, but when I asked Ms. Reese to pursue that, she was able to share with me that they're looking at, is it July construction?
That is correct. Amtrak will be coordinating the work with their contractor, and we're amending our lease to reflect that, and the work is expected to be complete in July.
And this is the north platform, the one most frequently used by Amtrak passengers, and they're simply aligning the train doors for passengers boarding and leaving the train at different points on the platform to avoid that damaged area right now.
Correct. Yeah, they're still using the platform, but they're avoiding the area that needs to be repaired.
Okay, thank you.
Further on this item, please call the roll.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. McCarthy?
Aye.
Ms. Harris? Aye. Mr. Byers?
Aye.
Mayor Kus?
Aye, that resolution is approved. That concludes our omnibus agenda. We have one item of general orders, a resolution executing a grant agreement authorizing the expenditure of American Rescue Plan Act funding for a housing navigator.
Move approval?
Second.
Is there discussion on this item? Ms. Smith?
It's my understanding that the funding between what Normal is providing and Bloomington is providing, is it 2 positions or 2 years of staffing for this position?
The proposed position, which is a housing navigator, will be housed with Mid Central Community Action Agency, and their plan is to hire one individual who will work for the 2 years that this project is being funded by both the town and the city's ARPA funds.
And by providing this initial seed funding, is the expectation that Normal would continue to support them in this effort in the future, or is it passed to MCCA to pursue grant funding to keep the program in effect?
I will say that's yet to be determined. We have not gone beyond any conversations except for ARPA funding for these 2 years, for this current year and next year. If the position is proving to be as valuable as the community needs, then I'm certain Mid Central Community Action will talk to all the stakeholders and work out a plan on how to fund it in the future.
Well, I, for one, am in total support of this because housing is such a critical need at all income levels, but it can be very complicated to try to navigate when something comes on the market and it so quickly disappears before someone can sign a lease and make a valid housing decision. So I'm fully in support of this. Thank you.
Further on this item?
So
Ms.
I'm never sure
Harris.
about this. Yes, I'm never sure about this. How do I excuse myself from the vote?
Mr. Day, I believe Ms. Harris
Oh, then
does.
do I have to explain too? 'Cause I think one time you told me I had to explain what happened.
Yeah, if you have a conflict.
Yes, there's a conflict of interest that's now serving on the MCCA board.
Fair enough. Further?
Recuse yourself when it comes to your thing.
Okay.
Site plan.
I'm like, I never know how to do that.
No, I was making sure she got her question answered.
Okay. Please call the roll.
Mr. McCarthy,
Aye.
Ms. Harris,
Recusal of vote.
Mr. Byers,
Aye.
Ms. Smith,
Aye.
Mayor Kus.
Aye. The resolution is approved. We have no new business or public comment. Before taking an adjournment motion, are there concerns or comments? Ms. Harris?
Thank you, Mayor. I just have a couple quick things. First of all, this weekend is one of our annual exciting events, which is Make Music Normal. And I hope that you all take some time either between Friday, between 5 to 10, or noon to 10 on Saturday to come out and celebrate with us. It's always a joyous occasion, and we have a wonderful time. I also want to, because this will be the last meeting of our month, to say Happy Pride Month to those in our community who are celebrating, and to hope that you continue to feel welcome in this community and know you have a safe place here to celebrate who you are and who you desire to be in your life and all the great things, and that we are here and we love you. So happy Pride Month. Also, today is Juneteenth. So want to say happy Juneteenth to our, not only those who are celebrating, but to our country for making the decision that was made that was often hard to make. Have a great evening.
Motion to- Mr. McCarthy?
Well, Ms. Harris and I should have compared notes a little bit, but I do have one remaining thing that wasn't already covered. This Thursday is the Central Illinois Cybersecurity Summit. It's being hosted by the Bloomington Normal Innovation Alliance. It's at the ISU Alumni Center from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. The focus is on small business and nonprofit support against a cybersecurity threat. The focus is identification and mitigation of and education for small businesses and nonprofit organizations that generally don't have large IT departments to help protect them, and to be a resource group to help those that don't have strong IT resources to protect themselves digitally. So again, that's this Thursday, the 22nd, from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. At the ISU Alumni Center. You can find out more information at bninnovationalliance.com. Thanks.
Ms. Smith?
Thank you. Three separate things. One, a reminder that the Vernon Avenue Street Study is on June 27th, and I encourage people to participate in that to get feedback on what the future plans might be for that corridor. Secondly, Amtrak is promoting a new Chicago to Kansas City route. Previously, if you wanted to travel to Kansas City, you could drive over to Galesburg and catch the Southwestern Chief from there, or drive up to Chicago to then go through Galesburg to get to Kansas City. But this is a new route that will be running through Bloomington from Chicago to Kansas City, so it's a great opportunity. And finally, picking up on Ms. Harris's comments to our members of the LGBTQ community, I want to just share something I recall from watching the first half of the Shoah movie that has stuck with me, that in summation, how the Holocaust happened. A commentator was saying that initially the approach was, you will not live among us as Jews, so that if any Jewish individuals wanted to be in main society, they had to convert. And then the next phase of that was, you will not live among us. And that followed with Jews being relegated to ghettos. And finally, to carry it to fruition, it became, you will not live. And that was just the natural progression of that thought. And so in this day and age, when so many LGBTQ are being targeted, I don't think we can forget that the Holocaust took the lives of 6 million Jews, but it also took the lives of gays, political prisoners, and developmentally handicapped or disabled. So I want to assure that we want to continue in this community to be an oasis that welcomes everybody. Thank you.
Motion for adjournment.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Ms. Harris?
Aye.
Mr. Byers?
Aye.
Ms. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. McCarthy?
Aye.
Mayor Kus?
Aye, we're adjourned. Thank you.